OK, Bears have taken the NFT world by storm. Welcome to the Daily Forkast, April 28th, 2022. I'm Megha Chadha of Forkast, covering all things blockchain. The OK Bears claim of being just okay seems pretty humble right now after the Solana-based collection of 10,000 NFT avatars topped CryptoSlam's NFT chart and helped Solana cross the $2 billion mark in total sales. We'll take a look at that plus a whole lot more coming up. Let's get you up to speed from Asia to the world.
Join thousands of NFT traders who already start their day on CryptoSlam.
First up, Bitcoin mining difficulty has hit an all-time high. Wednesday's adjustment saw an increase of over 5% on the last adjustment from 2 weeks ago. Bitcoin mining difficulty is a measure of how hard a miner has to work to verify transactions on a block in the blockchain, with adjustments happening every 2016 blocks, which usually takes around 2 weeks. The adjustments are highly correlated to changes in the mining hash rate, which is the amount of computing power used per second when mining. A higher hash rate suggests more mining activity, and as the hash rate increases, the mining difficulty typically follows. Miners are increasingly seeking cleaner energy sources to offset their carbon footprint from increased mining, with the most recent quarterly survey from the Bitcoin Mining Council showing that almost 60% of Bitcoin mining now uses sustainable energy. And over in Singapore, the Lion City says it aims to position itself as a, quote, responsible crypto hub. Speaking at a Financial Times summit on Wednesday, the Monetary Authority of Singapore's Managing Director Ravi Menon said the country's licensing process is stringent because they want to be a global crypto hub with innovative players and strong risk management capabilities. He added that the MAS only approves applicants with strong governance structures, and applicants need to be familiar with money laundering and terrorist financing risks. Menon said the MAS has given licenses or in-principle approvals to 11 digital payment token or DPT service providers over the last 2 years. However, almost 100 applications are still awaiting approval. According to media reports, the latest to gain an in-principle approval is the fintech firm Revolut. This means the company is now allowed to provide cryptocurrency services to customers in Singapore. Menon said granting licenses to crypto asset service providers mostly depends on their ability to manage risks.
Many of them are young players with little experience of banking or regulated activities. So there's a culture issue to bridge. They are innovative, they're nimble, they think out of the box, which is all great. We want that, but they do need to have a risk governance culture. And so that's something we pay close attention to.
You can find those stories and more at Forkast.News. Over in the NFT space, OK Bears Solana-based NFTs notched a record of more than $14 million worth of secondary sales in the 24 hours to Thursday morning in Asia. So have they helped the network establish itself as a viable alternative to Ethereum, which is the preferred platform for most NFTs? Forkast Lachlan Keller reports.
The Solana-based profile picture project, which features 10,000 unique avatars, was only launched yesterday on the Magic Eden NFT platform. Minted at a price of just 1.5 Sol, the native currency of the Solana network, or just under $150, they've since gone down a storm on the secondary market. According to data from CryptoSlam, sales soared by up to 60% overnight, hitting $14 million and beating all Ethereum-based NFT projects so far. In a tweet, the OK Bears project said their success is a celebration of the entire Solana blockchain, and that they didn't get to where they are alone, nor do they intend to move forward alone either. Speaking to a forecast at the Paris Blockchain Week summit earlier this month, Solana said that while their ecosystem grew in isolation for a long time, that's all changing now.
You're starting to see more and more of the sort of legacy Web3 companies, right? Like the OpenSea, like the Alchemy, companies that have been around for a very long time, looking at Solana as a place that now they need to support for their business use cases.
Federer says that OpenSea Solana NFT integration opened up huge potential for the community.
And it's great for people who've believed in the Solana ecosystem for a while, because now, suddenly Solana NFTs have access to the largest liquidity of an NFT marketplace, which is OpenSea.
Federer says the market for Solana-based NFTs is growing fast, with over 1.6 million wallets that own them on the network already. The world's fifth largest blockchain is no doubt hoping to put past issues like the wormhole hack and the network delays slowing transactions last year behind it. But despite the record $2 billion haul, Solana is a long way yet to beat Ethereum's $24 billion in historical sales. For Forkast, I'm Lachlan Keller.
BitRiver, a Russian cryptocurrency miner, and 10 of its subsidiaries have been sanctioned by the US Treasury. It's the first time a virtual asset miner has been targeted by the United States. So how are the players in the new economy dealing with the changing landscape? Discuss all this and more with Mark Lamb, Chief Executive Officer at CoinFlex, a leading crypto derivatives exchange and yield platform. Great to have you with us again, Mark.
Great to be here.
To kick it off, from being the third largest Bitcoin miner in 2021, Russia is facing a very different reality as the United States and European Union are making efforts to shut down crypto mining in Russia. The IMF says crypto mining could be a route to monetize Russia's energy assets and evade sanctions. What are your thoughts?
We have so many blockchain analysis tools to actually minimize the damage and also effectuate sanctions and enforce these on very, very specific miners. So rather than, I think generally most exchanges haven't banned all of Russia, which you could imagine exchanges deciding to do if there wasn't tooling available to enforce very specific sanctions. An exchange could make the commercial decision, oh, this is just too difficult to deal with, politically risky. We don't want to be dealing with any Russians for compliance reasons, just to go overboard, and so we'll just cut them out. And I think the nice thing, the upside of blockchain monitoring tools like Chainalysis, Elliptic, and others is really that you can be very, very specifically targeted towards specific miners, specific groups of addresses, specific wallets. And that's ultimately the upside of the blockchain. That's the power of blockchain technology. Everything is open, everything is happening on a public ledger. And because it's all on a public ledger, you minimize the damage to the general population.
Well, everything is on a public blockchain, isn't it? And talking about specific targeting, the founder of BitRiver, Igor Renets, was quoted saying the company did not provide services to the Russian government or work with clients sanctioned by the US. Do you think BitRiver got caught in the crossfire between the two nations, or does it highlight the inadvertent negative impact of sanctions, or there's more to it than meets the eye?
I think what you're saying around them being caught in the crosshairs, that's entirely plausible. And one of the huge costs of war is the rippling out effects of people that have nothing to do with it and may have nothing to do with it, just having their lives upended and overturned and all sorts of downsides to their lives. So this is a complex situation. I don't know whether they were very involved with the Russian government or not involved at all, and it's tricky to say. But ultimately, exchanges have to comply with sanctions laws, and this company is now in a worse situation because of what's going on.
And talking about people or companies getting caught in the crossfire, Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange, denied a news report of sharing customer data with Russian intelligence and said that they are honoring European Union sanctions for Russian accounts. But at the same time, they don't want to block out ordinary Russians from using their accounts. How do you see these developments as someone running an exchange themselves? What are the challenges here?
Well, we're in a similar position, so we don't want to be blocking out ordinary Russians from using the platform, while at the same time we always will respect sanctions by the US and other major world governments. And so it's a tricky situation, I think, for any exchange, because not only is the Russian economy a big part of the crypto ecosystem, and at one point it was a very large part of the crypto ecosystem. I remember the days of BTCE, and the first derivatives exchange, the first futures exchange, was actually Russian, ICBit. So Russia has had a very big and long history in crypto, going back to really the earliest of crypto days. But it's it is a country with political difficulties, and it's not the most friendly towards crypto, and sometimes that friendliness goes up and sometimes it goes down. And then obviously you have these factors like war, and it's something where an exchange has to be very nuanced about their statements, about how they're treading politically, about who they're appeasing and who they're at risk of angering, and that's the thing. You have to make these choices as an exchange, and I think they're pretty easy choices to make, but the situation can also get a lot hairier, and so that's the political landscape you have to navigate as an exchange.
A rather sensitive issue, isn't it? Thanks so much, Mark, for joining in with your perspective.
Thank you for having me.
And finally, here's a sneak preview of the latest edition of Word in the Block, where we go beyond the headlines with our guest, Dwayne DeSaulnier, Director for Blockchain and Data at the Associated Press, taking a deep dive into blockchain's potential for the news industry.
Our interest and focus is, again, how can the blockchain be used to deliver news? And this is where our focus is. It may take some time, and that's fine. But one thing we're learning is that real news is not a commercial product. And it's figuring out, when does an NFT stop being a commercial product and start being a legitimate, real news product.
The full episode airs tomorrow, so do check it out. And that's the Daily Forkast from our vantage point right here in Asia. For more, visit Forkast.News. I'm Forkast Megha Chadha. Until next time.